Hello and welcome back to the Blue Jacket Banner. I'm your host, Jose Gomez, and I have two very special guests with me here today, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm from the Mary Persons FFA chapter.
And I'm Riley Wilson from the Mary Persons FFA chapter.
All right, I'm really glad y'all made the long drive to get here. How long was it to get here?
3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah, 3 hours.
Felt like
Three.
5.
Felt like 5. All right, but I'm really glad y'all made the drive to get here. And kind of getting started into everything, could y'all tell me how y'all joined FFA or what inspired y'all to join?
I'll go first. So my aunt was a previous state officer, and it was just kind of engraved in our brain from a young age that agriculture was a very important topic to live. So we were just it's something we were always growing up around. So I was really interested in it, and so FFA just seemed like the family and the place for me to join. So it just gravitated towards me, just growing up around it.
Yeah, I joined in 7th grade because my family's been pretty big into agriculture. We kind of had not an agriculture background, but more of a landscaping, and we're known for jack of all trades type stuff in our family. So we do a lot of cooking and all that. But my cousin joined FFA, and he wasn't as serious in it. But we saw some plaques that he had won from some Forest Field days, and my older brother Ethan, he joined because of that pretty much. So once he fell in love with it, I kind of was like, oh, maybe I should try it out. So I tried it out with a couple of my friends in 7th grade, and we just kind of got it going from there. So ever since then, we just haven't looked back.
All right. So I kind of skipped a very crucial step in the part of an episode.
That's all right.
So right here in front of you have a trivia wheel. So if you don't mind spinning it and telling me what number it lands on. It's a very bad spinny wheel, trivia wheel.
Oh, I got number 2.
2. All right. So if you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would it be and why?
Oh my gosh, France.
France? Why France?
I just like France. I heard they have really good food over there.
Like where in France? Like Paris, France?
I don't. Okay, so I really don't know much about France, but I would I only know about Paris, and it's just not what I would like. I like to go more into the country, just try and see the countryside, maybe go in deeper. But yeah, definitely not Paris, but somewhere deep inside the country, get
Alright.
the real culture of France.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not a big city guy, so.
We could tell where you live over here. Three.
3. What's your favorite TV show or movie?
My favorite movie would have to be Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
It's a banger.
It's a banger.
All right. So why would you say that's your favorite movie, though?
I would have to say it's just because of the comedy in it and the way they go throughout the movie. They also mention FA in it, was pretty cool. But even if they're not in the right official dress, it's still pretty cool that they mention that in there. But Napoleon and just Pedro over there, vote for Pedro. It's just a great movie.
Yep.
I agree. It's a banger.
I haven't seen it, so I'd have to watch
Really?
it. I've
Oh
seen
my
I've seen
gosh.
bits and pieces of it, but
Oh,
I haven't
man.
You have to
seen
watch
the
You
full
got to
movie.
watch Napoleon
Yeah,
Dynamite.
I love it.
I've seen clips of it on TikTok, but I haven't seen the full movie.
I say I watch shows, but I actually just watch it on TikTok.
Yeah. And it has the 500 parts where you can watch the whole
Yeah.
show in one.
You have to scroll forever on the TikTok page to find it. Yeah.
All right. So kind of getting back into what we were talking about earlier, could y'all explain your SAE projects that y'all have?
Okay, so I have a blueberry production, crop production, I don't know how to say it. SAE, so basically my grandparents have a blueberry farm, and I travel down there 3 times a year, and I helped harvest, spray sometimes. It depends on the year if we do that, but basically make sure they're good from pest. Harvest, and I do sell. I will communicate with sellers and buyers to make sure that our products are getting out to shelves around supermarkets in our area. So yeah, just.
You can talk about your other SAE too.
Oh, I do have another one, so I guess this is diversified. I also show livestock. I showed livestock for 4 years. I've showed a pig and 7 lambs. So.
All right.
Well, I would say mine's turf grass management slash landscape management, anything, whatever it's called now, but it's kind of joined in or whatever. But so I did my proficiency over that. I worked for my dad for most of my life until about last year. This past year, I started working for a company called Serval Lawn Care. It's my cousin who started it, the same one that started an FFA, our FFA journey. He started it. We've gotten pretty big in it. He's now professional and has a couple contracts like CVS's and stuff like that. But right now, I'm just working for Serval Lawn Care and working for my dad still part time, but also working for him, about to be full time. So.
Yep. So I kind of started in landscape management when I started my essay, just going around mowing lawns and
Yeah.
seeing how that would pick up. And I'd say blueberry production is very big here in Ware County. Like we're a huge blueberry county, like left and right, like kind of. I don't know if y'all came down that big long road to get here.
I think we did. I don't
but
remember.
probably.
Maybe.
There's
We probably did.
there's a ton of blueberry farms out that way.
Oh yes, we did.
And we have Mixon Farms. We have the Corneliuses. We have one in Dixie Union. Like blueberries are just big here, and
Yeah.
that's mainly what we've had a kid go to nationals, or we had a student go to nationals with his blueberry production, but that was like years ago. I'd say
Yeah.
like 15 years ago, maybe 20. But yeah, blueberry production is really, really big
All
here.
the
as well.
open land out here.
Yep, and the soil's very acidic. So, I
Yeah.
mean, that's what blueberries like.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're like in the middle of the swamp, I guess. It's always humid out here, too. But what would you say has been the most rewarding thing that FFA has brought to y'all?
You
can
can go first?
No, you
All right,
can
I'll
go
go
first.
first. So the most rewarding thing FFA has brought to me would have to be leadership. Obviously, being an FFA, you can be in leadership. You can choose to not be in leadership. I chose to be in leadership throughout middle school, and this year I've kind of gotten more into a leadership position. Newly elected Area 3 president. It's going to go well, I'm hoping. But leadership, and I would say basically from my advisor, learning most of my life skills, I would say, like employment-wise, just life lessons from Mr. Smith and Miss Thompson, and used to be Mr. Waldrop, but all of them just really shaped my FA experience in leadership, and learning all those skills really helped me, I'd say.
What about you, Raleigh? So what has been the most rewarding thing FFA has brought to you?
Okay, the most rewarding thing has to be the people I met. It has brought me so many like connections, and like I've been able to not like get stuff. Like I've met so many people, not just through Lane. Like I've met so many people through we just say I was working at Laney. I've just met so many people, not just through her, but Ryan, and like doing it with friends. I've made like a family, I guess you could say, just having to meet people.
Yep, I definitely say those are huge rewarding things, whether it's a new leadership position or just meeting new people. I couldn't tell you the amount of people that I've met through this, like tons
Yeah.
and tons and tons. Meeting y'all, meeting Laney, and meeting a ton of other people along the way through different FFA events, whether it was serving as a national delegate or just being at convention, meeting new people. But definitely good things that FFA has brought to y'all.
Yeah.
So you were kind of leading into this question, and it's kind of perfect that it's the next question. So what would you say, or what leadership roles have you taken in the FFA so far, and what have you learned from them?
Okay, so in middle school, I was vice president for a chapter. It was my first year being an officer, obviously, being in middle school. But this past year, I served as a secretary for our chapter, and this year I am currently going to serve as our vice president for the chapter and the Area 3 president. And the biggest thing that I've learned throughout that is be yourself. Don't change how you act around people. Just make sure that you are being who you are, really, for just because you have a title or you're a leader, you have to show what you're doing is the right thing. Like, if you influence people, you have to know what you're doing. You can't just go out there and just start talking and being weird or anything like that. You have to be that leader for them. So I would say it changes your responsibility in life and just being that person that you always are. You got to stay to it.
Yep. What about you,
What was the question?
You're fine. So, what leadership roles have you gained through FFA, and what have you learned from them?
So I've gained a lot of so I've done a lot of chapter leadership roles, but I've also FFA has taught me how to be a leader, and that's led to me getting other not just FFA but other clubs and organizations. Like I've served as a vice president in one of our other clubs at school called Future Georgia Educators, and I say that mostly I got that was because of FFA. It's just serving as a chapter officer has helped me really learn what a leader does and what a leader is. It's just really allowed me to leave an impact and serve in other places.
Really good. I definitely agree with you that you should act the same way throughout, whether you have a leadership title or not. I really feel that that's just something big and defining that each leader should have. And definitely serving in other organizations has definitely helped me a lot. And not just only in FFA, but helped me gain those real life skills.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of digging into y'all's chapter, what are some fun or unique things that you can say you do in your chapter?
You want to start?
Yeah. So after a big no, I wouldn't say a big event, maybe if we win a state title, we usually have a classroom cookout. So our advisor will cook food for our whole classroom, and it's usually hot dogs and hamburgers. I don't know how he gets it done in one classroom period, but he does, and it's just it's really fun. Just it's just a fun time. But that's something I'll never forget. Is having our classroom cookouts.
Yeah, we pretty much partied that whole class for
it's
the
a
win.
party for a win, but it's so rewarding, and it's so honestly it's motivating. It makes us hungrier for the win.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it actually makes you hungrier. But I would say mine would have to be the most unique thing about our chapter would have to be this little rat that we had in our ceilings that we call Mr. Jingles.
Mr. Jingles.
He often leaves a lot of jinglets around the cabins, as we say. But yeah, Mr. Jingles is a living legend around Mary Persons, and he sleeps in the shop pretty much. Mr. Jingles actually passed away, so we have another rat named Mr. Jiggles that is around. He's about the size of a possum. So
We
Size
love
of a
Mr.
possum.
Jingles.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Rest in
It
peace,
was so
Mr.
sad.
Jingles.
I cried, but it's okay. We moved on.
It's okay.
We got a new one.
We
So.
still love Mr. Jingles.
We have a class pet.
So, I have a question. So, how did y'all come to name him Mr. Jingles?
Well, I couldn't really tell you how we named him Mr. Jingles, but all I know is that he leaves a lot of jinglets. So,
Okay.
It just had to be the jinglet. Mr. Jingles just made sense.
so our advisors, mainly Mr. Smith, comes up with a lot of weird things. So, Mr. Jingles is kind of just, I don't know where he came up
It
with
just-
it, but it just kind of flows, so
Yeah.
we go with it. He makes up a lot of words / names for a lot of people. It's just pretty funny how he does that. So, Miss Thompson's getting there too. She's
She's learning.
She's learning.
She's learning how to do it. She's learning that trade.
So we actually did kind of have one of the same problems here in the Ag Center.
Oh gosh.
So I
We
get
love our rats.
Yeah, it's no problem.
We love our
them.
rats.
Here it was kind of a little bit of a problem.
Mhm.
When we first built the barn, we have grates where all the excess waste goes in from the hog
jinglets.
pens.
The jinglets.
The jingles, the giblets, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you would have to clean them out at the end of the show season
Yeah.
after our market show. And I did it one year, and I would wear clothes that you don't want to wear again
Yeah.
when you're doing that. But we have to clean those out. And last year, it was a year before last year, nobody really cleaned them out. So a ton of
Oh,
Mr.
gosh.
Jingles were coming in here.
Wow.
And we had them in the ceiling running everywhere. And
Still?
not still, not
Oh,
still, not right
okay.
now. But you could we'd be having our officer meetings in here, and then you could just hear it'll be a quiet moment, and you could just hear run going across the roof panels,
Dance
and then
party.
then we had one, we had some of them disappear, I guess, and it would stink.
Oh,
in here.
wow.
Gosh darn it.
We need to
Yeah,
give
it
give
was
some of
like
y'all
that.
some names.
Names.
Yeah, we'll have to figure
Yeah.
out some names for them.
We were out here during animal science one block, and animal science is only first block in the morning. So we'd come out here, and the kid seen one. He was like, "Did I just see a squirrel run by?" They're pretty big.
Yeah.
So
Mr. Jingles, what I remember, he was a big guy.
Mr. Jiggles is a very big guy, possum size.
Yeah.
possum size.
Pretty
Um,
scary.
And also adding on to what you're saying, how your ag teachers does like a cookout for, you said if y'all have like wins or like if y'all win an area or state competition.
Yeah.
So we kind of do the same thing. Our ag teacher, Mr. Hickox, he'll cook steaks for us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's
Okay.
if we make it to a state competition. So like, they'd like cook steaks for us and like I guess kind of like a banquet meal or like a dinner, I guess. And like instead of going to lunch, they'll just call us down to their class and then they'll do that for us as well. So kind of something that y'all had related to both of the things that y'all had with Mr. Jingles.
Yeah, ours usually tend to be like big old parties, but it's only after state wins.
It's
So
only after state wins.
so it's something to look forward to,
Yeah.
but also like it doesn't happen often.
And
so
they always, like, every time we have one, something happens. Like, the last time we had one, the power went out in our whole school.
yeah.
Like, something always happens, I'm telling you. Something random will happen that day, and it just adds on to the class.
Yep.
Something more memorable.
Yes.
Yep. All right. So, kind of like y'all were talking about big wins, state CDEs, and LDEs. What would you say has been your favorite CDE or LDE and why?
My favorite would have to be farm business. I didn't really get to compete in it this year. I was alternate, but just like it just makes sense to me. And some of the other ones just like it's been so hard for me to grasp on, but this one just kind of it makes sense because like you can see it every day. What I've been told, so it just makes sense to me. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I would have to say not farm business. I'm not on that farm business type stuff, but I would have to say probably forestry because the team that I had this year, we were very much together. We actually called ourselves the Fantastic Five. That's how close it was because there was 5 of us, and we had a chapter competition the last day right before state that it was so close. We competed against each other for hours and hours. It was barely like it was such a close team, but we're still such a close team going to nationals in Indiana. So we're gonna hopefully take it home. But I'd say forestry, just all the late practices, all the forest. We measured lots of trees, I'd say, but just the togetherness of that team, it was just awesome. Shout out to them.
Yeah, I remember when they were doing the chapter competition, I kept texting him. I was like, "Who made it? Who made it?" And it was
Yeah.
like 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
I'm like, we still don't know.
it
We have
took
to
a
we're doing it
long
again.
time.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Just like they were so like into it.
Everybody was so passionate about it, and
It was-
still are. I mean,
And the other thing, we had a nursery team the same. So it was for I think it was March, whatever CDE our last CDE day of the year. Both teams, nursery and forestry, won state, but they also like came down to like the very last day to decide who was going to compete.
Mhm.
Like very both competitive.
yeah, we have a very competitive chapter when it
Sure,
comes to
so, yeah.
CDEs for sure. But
Yeah.
actually, the plant doctor Ricky Diaz took home nursery landscape with their team, so pretty proud of them.
Yeah, shout out to you, Ricky.
Shout out to Ricky.
Yep, I'd say that we're good in forestry, I'd say, but we're not the best. We went to state last year, and this year we got 3rd in area.
Yeah.
And it was like neck and neck with 1st and 2nd place, and we were doing foreman forestry, and we were like, it was right after the hurricane too, so like trees
Ooh.
are down, like
Oh, that's
leaning
bad.
everywhere. And we're in the woods, and I like absolutely bombed boardfoot.
Oh,
like
man.
it was terrible. Which I used a Biltmore stick. I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of a clinometer.
Yeah, clinometer.
And I absolutely bombed it. Like I
It's
went
tough.
over like by like 600.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
It was. I don't know how. I thought I was doing what I was doing right, but apparently not.
It happens to the best of us. I mean,
yeah.
even Lainey did forestry to begin her FFA experience, and she didn't like boardfoot too much.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure mine and mine's for CDE was forestry.
It was forestry together
We
in
got,
7th
like,
grade.
I'm pretty sure we got.
We didn't do good.
Yeah, we didn't do really good.
We've come a long way.
Yep, but I mean, tree ID, we always try to score hundreds on that.
Yeah.
And this year, I'd say we'd had a very diverse team. I mean, 2 of us were in 11th grade, 1 of us was a senior, and 1 of us was in 9th grade. And just like kind of seeing where we were all at on that thing, because I mean, we had 2 of us who were like in the middle of
Yeah.
the FFA. One of them was ending, and one of them was just starting. So it was just kind of cool trying to see how that worked out. And I mean, we did good. We worked well as a team.
Yeah.
but I'd say my favorite event out of four-man forestry would be TSI. I love
TSI?
TSI.
Oh,
Really?
I love TSI.
Yep.
Riley's actually, that's his thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing.
During forestry field days.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, Forest Field Day TSI.
Yep.
Our team's kind of the opposite when it comes to that. We were all sophomores this year.
Mm.
The alternate ended up being a junior, but we were not very diverse when it came to that. But
Yep.
I'd say not the same as y'all's
Yep.
chapter.
Maybe y'all can win back-to-back national titles.
Hopefully.
So
That's the
hopefully-
goal.
Hopefully y'all
We're
can.
praying
All right. So, digging into the next question, how has FFA helped you develop skills that you would use in the future?
You want to go or me
So-
go?
No, you go.
All right.
Maybe
So-
I'll have another question.
FFA has really helped me in terms of, well, I've really never even thought about livestock, so we can get away from livestock. But CDE wise and just leadership wise, I would say it's really helped me in terms of like thinking what I'm going to do in the future, like career. So, like CDEs, they also help you in terms of like life lessons. I'd say our advisors are really good about learning life lessons.
Very good.
So, in terms of the classroom, just ag classrooms, we learn everything we need to know in terms of how to live your life, how to do well in like job applications, all that stuff. We don't care as much about, oh, you got to get this test down, you got to get this quiz grade. We're all about learning life lessons. Doing well in school is still a good thing, but like we want you to learn. That's what our advisors really want us to do. They want us to learn these life lessons that are going to actually help us in life. Some teachers are just there because they got to be there. They get the paycheck. They're just going to teach you, get a good grade. That's what we're hoping for. Our teachers really care about us learning, and our advisors are just really adamant about learning those life lessons, I'd say.
Yeah, just learning. I harp on like our ag teachers really do care, so you really do learn a lot. He really hit all the points, so I like that was really what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You can't really add on more than that.
I definitely agree with that. Having like a good support system within your ag teachers. We have 4 ag teachers here in Horry County, and they all have like their special place of profession, I'd say.
Yeah.
So Mr. Renshaw does ag mech and forestry, and Miss Putman, now Miss Jarrett, she does plant science and all with plants, horticulture, and she does animal science a lot too. Mr. Bennett, he does forestry as well with wildlife and ENR, all that good stuff. And Mr. Hickox is fully animal science. That's his deal. But definitely agree with the life lessons. That's one thing that our ag teachers have like made sure that we have in us.
Yeah.
Kind of like you said, they said, yeah, it's good to have good grades in school and doing good in your classes, but what are you really getting out of reading out of a textbook?
Exactly.
Instead of being like, do that hands-on learning, getting those real-life skills.
Yeah.
But definitely agree with that. Having that support system from your ag teacher is really important, and not just being in a workbook all day.
Yeah, exactly.
But this one's kind of the same one as, not this question, but the one before. But instead of your favorite CDE or LDE, what has been your favorite FFA event and why?
I'll let Riley
Okay,
go first.
so mine is like, I love a good state convention. I don't know why. I just like I do like. I feel like it's like the beginning of it's the end of the year and it kind of starts off at the beginning of the next year. So it's just like it's a brand new start.
Mm-hmm.
You get your recognition for what you deserve and it's the end. So it's just I just always feels like it's a party at the end. So it's just so nice to me.
Well, I would kind of say state convention sometimes it's other things. Like I'd say national convention was really fun this year, helping the team prepare, and seeing Indiana was pretty cool. I've never been to Indiana, so when we were practicing in the woods, it was awesome to see all the sassafras trees and the tall trees up there. It was really beautiful. But state convention actually has been pretty cool too, because you get to hang out with all your friends. You get to see people that you've known throughout the year, central, south, north, any region. But I actually hog called at state convention 2 years ago, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. I think next year I will be seeing if I could hog call maybe, but
Running it back.
hog calling is really fun. So I'd say that's the best part about those events.
Yep. I definitely agree. Like I said, I feel like the days of state convention are the longest days
They
like
are.
ever.
Yeah.
And I'd say that in a good way as well. Seeing all the people there. I mean, yeah, your feet are hurting by the end of the week. But definitely meeting all the amount of people there, seeing your friends across the state from different regions, it's really, really fun. I'd say my favorite event, it's kind of hard. It'd be between South Region Rally and I'd say National Convention. Don't get me wrong, I love me a good state convention, but South Region Rally, getting to see all the people that I know from down here and just getting together from people from Area 5 as well and just doing a bunch of fun activities together, getting to know each other, getting to meet new people, and also National Convention is definitely a fun experience. I've been the past 3 years with my chapter and last year as a delegate, and just seeing all like the different amount of people there, like how different states are from our state with different stuff, with their CDEs. They have different CDEs than we do, and we have different ones than they do. Just definitely love meeting new people at those events.
Well, you talking about that actually reminds me. When we were in Indiana, we were the team was talking to other teams there while they were competing, and they were talking about some of the teams that were in Arizona and things like that. They didn't even get to measure regular trees; they had to measure palm trees. So that's just one of those different things that they're doing up there. It's just you don't even think about that with all the pine trees and every tree that we have in Georgia. They're measuring palm trees for their state contest, and they had to. Some of those chapters up there had to drive like 6 hours just to find trees. Like, because the Midwest, you're not going to find a tree in the middle of nowhere. So
I didn't even think about that.
it's pretty cool.
And I also know, like, one of our ag teachers, she competed at dairy judging like years ago, and a team from Puerto Rico made it, and they only judged like cows, like dairy. I don't know how you do it, but they did it on a tablet. They never did it on like in person. They only ever did it on a tablet. So it's just like just really different.
Yeah, it's different, but it's also cool to see like all that stuff you would never think about here.
Yeah.
It's also weird seeing a state that like, a jacket that doesn't have Georgia on it. It's just like really interesting to see and different meet those people.
Yeah, definitely. I never thought about that, like measuring palm trees. I'd say we're very lucky where we are with the forestry
Very
industry. I imagine like what went through their mind like when they got there, like at national.
I have no. They were probably very distraught just seeing all the trees.
I couldn't imagine. Well, like now that you're like states in the Midwest, there's like no trees there.
No, well, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like,
You just hope and pray.
long drives.
Now I wonder like where they have their forestry competitions
know.
at.
I really don't know.
But I never thought about that. That's really cool that you mentioned that. So, kind of digging into your futures. So you're in 10th or 11th?
I'm going into 11th.
You're going into 11th, and
I'm going into 11th.
you're going into 11th as well. So I'm going into my senior year. I'm not really ready for that.
Oh yeah,
But
you got it.
how would you say, or how do you see FFA shaping your future careers, whether it's you're going to college after school, going into trades? How do you see it shaping your future?
You go first.
All right, I'll go first. So
Hopefully I remember.
I actually have two different career paths I'm thinking about right now. One I don't even think Riley or Laney know about, but that one would have to be sports broadcasting / analyst. Yeah, you didn't even know about it, did you? Yeah, so leadership in FFA and all the things that you get to do, speaking, all that, that really does help, even in that. Like, if you're talking to people in the sports industry, or you're memorizing things for sports, or you're just talking on a podcast like this helps. Like, if you're talking into a microphone, or you're analyzing things like you do for FFA competitions, trying to learn those trees, or IDing things, or maybe it's a team activity like math or anything like that, that all helps. The other career path I'm thinking about would have to be forest management / cruising timber. So forestry obviously goes into that. E&R kind of goes into that. All those CDEs really prepare me for what I might be going into in my future. So
I think it shaped me. Like, it's allowed me to. It's introduced me to other topics, things I didn't know you could major in. It's just like it's broadened my horizons. So I'm now thinking about going into like farm, like I think it's called farm business or like ag comms. It's just like it's broadened your horizons, so you can like really think about what you want to do. It just gives you so many opportunities.
Yep. Definitely sports broadcaster.
Yeah, I don't think they even knew that. So.
I'm like shocked. It was
That's-
not suspecting that.
It's like the people that's like, well, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but like you're seeing what's going on during the game.
That's one of the options right now.
That's pretty cool. So, sports broadcaster, forestry industry, and you said going into ag com or farm business.
Yeah,
So,
something like that.
Yeah.
He's not sure
But,
yet.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure about what I want to do either. I've been wanting to go into ag ed for the longest time.
Yeah.
My sister's doing it. She graduates the same year that I graduate high school. But I've been wanting to go into ag ed. I really want to go into ag com as well.
Yeah.
But I kind of can't do both at the same time, I guess. But I have so many things that I want to do, but it's
Yeah.
just like I got to decide on one because I
Hard
can't
to
do it
narrow it
all.
down,
Yeah. But I've been wanting to go in the livestock industry, been wanting to go into the horticulture industry with all that stuff. But I mean, I can't choose all four of them. I got to choose one. But kind of seeing where I am. I'll see where I am in May when
After this year.
yeah, after this year. See where I am and see what I decide by then. But definitely, I'd say FFA's helped me a lot with On the Way, and I feel like it'll help me narrow it down a little bit more. So since we're talking about the future, it's kind of the same thing as the last question. Where would you say you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
I see myself in college. Hopefully.
Oh man, it's a lot of college, Riley.
Wait, 5 years we're juniors, so like, yeah, I'll be a senior hopefully in college if the math is correct.
Okay.
I really don't know what I'll be majoring. 10 years, I don't even know. That's too hard. But 5 years definitely, hopefully like a senior in college.
I thought you were talking about 10 years.
Oh no, no. But, maybe like I don't know. Hopefully enjoying life.
Enjoying life.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd probably say hopefully working for a company, doing well, having graduated from somewhere, getting my master's in something. You don't really know right now because so many things can change, especially in college. It's very different. So I got to see what happens this year and next year and see what my freshman year in college does for me, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So since we're on the topic of college, what would you say is like your number one college that you want to go to?
Oh, I would love to go to UGA.
Yep.
I would love to go there.
Riley's been a diehard UGA
Yeah.
fan his whole life. Well, I'm actually open right now, but I'm thinking about ABAC pretty much because a lot of friends there, a lot of opportunities down there. Agricultural college. I mean, they have a really tough forestry program down there, but UGA is still an option. I love UGA. As long as I could get in, I'd look into it, but it's pretty tough to get into UGA too. So.
Yep. I'd say mine would definitely be ABAC would be the number one for me.
Yeah.
And my second one, I'd say UGA. Don't get me wrong, I love me some good UGA.
Yeah.
But I mean, ABAC is just an hour down the road. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of where I figured I want to be. And like you said, good ag college, and I mean, you're gonna know a ton of people there already. But say that'd be my top ones. But kind of going into another question, if you could change one thing on how people view agriculture, what would you change? Like their point of view on it.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I think Riley's got to think about it a little bit. But so actually, my buddy Jabe Andrews talked about this in prepared public speaking on his speech, all about forestry and the awareness that forestry doesn't get. People don't think of agriculture as forestry; they think of it as growing crops, raising animals. I'm not even in that side of things. All I am is the E&R environmental type stuff, the forests. I mean, nobody really thinks about even communications in agriculture. They don't think about that pathway. But I would have to say just opening their broad aspects to just everything else other than just, oh, we live on a farm, we're farmers. So like that's why the name changed from the Future Farmers America to National FFA organization. It changed from that just to open that, like all those opportunities for other people, because that's not what FFA is. It's not about just farming. It's about all the other stuff, communications, all the other things. I mean, so I would just say people really don't, especially at schools. Like our school, they don't get it.
Yeah,
They don't understand.
We're like the outcast at our school.
We're really trying to get it open more, but they don't understand FFA is not farming. We're not just farming. We're not farmers. We might not even be close to farmers. Like all the other stuff that goes on in FFA is not even close to farming. Some of the stuff's just way out there, like communication. That has nothing to do with being on a farm and just living the farm life, as they'd say. But yeah, we're not farmers in FA. We're everything else and farmers. So
I would just say like it's not what you think it is. It's there's just more to it. Like what you wear, what you eat. I mean, obviously that stuff, but just there's like you can work at John Deere as like a communication analyst or whatever, and you still have a part in agriculture. Like it's just so like you probably have a job right now, like you don't even know it has to do with agriculture. It's so broad, and I would just like tell them that like it's not what you think it is. Like open your horizons and look. It's not picking blueberries or like picking bananas. It's more than that. Like there's so much you can do.
Yep. Definitely agree with that. I'd say what you'd say, how your school doesn't really understand what we do. And I mean, I'd say we're the same here. We used to be really, really big in FFA, and then like kind of over the years it's kind of went down, which I mean, it hasn't like dropped off. I mean, we're still here. But I'd say people really don't understand the things that we do, and what it's for. Because we have a ton of other organizations and clubs within our school, and they just really don't see what we do. We host kindergarten and fifth grade ag days, and we do it here at the ag center. We have rotations, so I'm always in the livestock rotation, teaching about sheep and cattle with my friends out there, and we have ag mech, like any part in ag, like broad part, we have it. We have like 8 rotations, pollination, plants, anything in between, and we were outside and it was my friend's turn to talk about her steer, and then she was like, where do y'all get milk from? And obviously the kindergartners don't know it comes from a cow, I guess. Which, I mean, to me that was common knowledge back then.
Yeah.
But some of them, it comes from the store, but like, no, what animal does it come from? It comes from the store.
It's in the carton.
That's what they're saying. It's in the carton. We're just kind of seeing the importance of it. Kind of like you said, you can have any job and it'll tie into ag in any way, shape, or form. I mean, people are impacted by ag every single day, whether they know it or not. Kind of like you said, food you eat, clothes that you wear. I mean,
everything.
Yeah, everything is impacted by ag. But I'd say that just people being aware of where stuff comes from and that they're impacted by it every day. Just bringing awareness to that, I guess. But so heading into some more funnier questions. What would you say was one of your funniest or most memorable moments that you've experienced through FFA?
Okay, so what would have to be watching Lainey run for state office? It was just so funny. She gave us a speech on the car ride over there, and then when she got on stage, it was a great speech. Don't get me wrong, it was just so different, but it was so funny. And like her saying oxygen, and no one responded.
Yeah, it was kind of awkward, but
The highlight of my year was that it was just such a great memory. Like, I'll never forget that. And she did so good. So like it just added on to it. Just her saying, what was it like?
what do you need for the fire triangle? A spark, fuel, and oxygen.
And she was like, when I say oxygen, you all say oxygen.
Nobody said anything. It was very awkward, but it was awesome.
And then she goes, smoke in the bear, move
Smokey the Bear, move out of the way. It's time for Laney Sparks to light a wildfire or something like that.
It's not even that funny, but I'm laughing.
You definitely need to be there for it to be really
Yeah, you
funny.
have to like.
Especially if you were in our chapter, it's still an ongoing joke.
It's still on. It was like happened to. It's still ongoing.
Yeah, we call her Laney Oxygen Sparks a lot just because of that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it got the job done.
Mhm.
So
I would have to say mine's very different, but mine would have to be right before we left for national convention. We made a stop by the new bathrooms that they were making for the baseball team up there. They were measuring some trees to start, and then we were going to go up there. Everybody's going to take a bathroom break, and then we were going to head out, right? Mm-hmm. So apparently the bathrooms were still very much under construction.
oh my gosh, yeah, that's like a whole scandal.
And
The bathrooms.
yeah, and let's just say someone left a nice surprise for everyone in there, and there was a lot of nose plugging, and let's just say it was almost like there was trees growing in the toilet. Like it was bad, but that's kind of where one of our sayings come from. Clog blog or stump dumps. That's one of those things that our advisors come up with. But one of the days that we practiced for national or for state with the team at one of our friends' house, Lola's house. There was this oddly shaped tree, right? And it was perfectly like a toilet.
It was like a toilet, like a stump.
It was like a stump,
It was
right?
pretty cool.
So I just sat on it, just having fun. I was just sitting down for a second, and I just got this leaf in my hand, acting like I was reading a newspaper, and they just took a picture of me and said it was a stump dump, even though I was just sitting there with a leaf, just reading it. But it was pretty funny, I'd say.
Yeah, we have so many, but those are just like, there's a lot. Like any day.
A lot
fun
goes
day.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say we have a lot of stuff going on in our chapter that I just can't keep track of at this point.
There's probably stuff that I'm
Um,
forgetting there, like hilarious, but like I just.
I probably have a ton of pictures of it on my phone when I see it. Oh yeah, that's that moment. But I'd say this past year, one of the most like memorable, I remember it to this day, was we were going up to national convention as delegates, and we stopped at the Buc-ee's in Calhoun, and I think it was in Calhoun, and we got stuck there for 3 hours. So we were originally only going there for a bathroom break and to get breakfast. So like max 20 minutes we were supposed to be there. And 30 minutes rolls around. And keep in mind the charter bus went across the road to the other gas station
That's
to
ridiculous.
get gas. Don't know why he didn't get gas at Buc-ee's. Still don't know that to this day. And we're sitting there, 30 minutes rolls around. Miss Whitworth's calling, hey, where are you at? I mean, I don't even think she called after 30 minutes. It was after an hour, I think, is when she originally called.
Golly.
And turns out he got broke down. Don't know what happened, really. I mean, we were just stuck there for 3 hours. And so one of our friends there that was along with the trip, Anna Grace, she ended up losing her phone within like the first 20, 30 minutes that we got there. And then she ended up finding it after around the second hour that we were there. And then we didn't have none of our stuff because all of our stuff was on the bus. And some of us left our phones on the bus. So we didn't have our phones for or some of us didn't for those 3 hours, which I mean, I had my phone with me. But I'd say that was just such a memorable moment.
Yeah.
Because we were there to eat breakfast, and then we ended up actually eating lunch there as well.
Yeah, that's
And
ridiculous.
then we ended up missing, I think it was one of the first delegate sessions, I'm pretty sure. And we ended up missing that. But I'd say that was such a memorable moment, going back in the Buc-ee's to get food and just going in and out. And then I think at one point one of the workers came out and then just said what we were doing there. While we were all just standing at the statue.
Yeah.
Like the Buc-ee statue in the front. We were just there the whole time. And I mean, I couldn't even think people just walking in what are these group of students doing here?
Probably wasted a lot of money too, going in and out.
Going in and out. I'd say some of us definitely spent a lot more money than we thought we would there. Like
Yeah.
some people were like stocking up on energy drinks there,
Golly.
like stacks and stacks. Like I can't remember who it was, but they had like bags of Red Bulls and Alanis. They were just like
Same.
full of like energy drinks for the week we're gonna be at nationals. But that was definitely a memorable moment
Yeah, I'd say
that I had. We have a ton more in our chapter. I really couldn't pinpoint one. I feel like we have a memorable moment each time we meet.
Yeah.
But definitely those memorable moments. So, kind of getting into more of the FFA experience. If you could describe your FFA experience in just 3 words, what would they be and why?
Okay. I don't know.
We might have to think a little bit more on this.
Yeah.
This is always a thinker.
All right, my first one's gonna be family.
Oh. I was gonna say fun, but I'm gonna strike that. I'm gonna say exhilarating.
Exhilarating.
I would say. I would say family's definitely that, and I'd say connection.
Mm.
It's kind of like family, but I mean a little different.
Unforgettable.
Yeah. Memorable is also what comes to mind for me because everything you do in FA is very memorable usually. So, yeah, one more.
I want to say oxygen so bad. That's just too weird. Passionate? I don't
Yeah.
know if that makes
Yep.
sense, but yeah.
6 great words, I'd say. Definitely family. Building that family bond, whether it's with people in your chapter, new people across the state, just getting to meet with new people, and like you said, connections. The hands you shake are really important. I
Yeah.
always say that. The hands you shake, people you meet. You never know who you're going to meet that could change the future in your career, offering you a job, scholarship, anything in between. Definitely exhilarating. I'd say definitely exhilarating. It's always a fun time to be an FFA, whether it's the memories that you make, like you said, being memorable, or just making new memories. Definitely exhilarating, whether it's like that time before a competition that you've been studying for the longest time, and then like you just like know you got it. Definitely
Pays off.
great words. Yep, it pays off. So, kind of since we just did our little 3-word summary of our FFA experience, it's kind of hard like narrowing it down to 3 words because there's like so many things that pour into it. But kind of looking forward to this upcoming year. What's one thing that you're looking forward to this year? Whether-
So last year I didn't have the opportunity to watch them compete at nationals, and this year like I'm really close to the people going to compete, so I'm really excited to watch them compete and hopefully like watch them excel and watch all of our proficiencies that are going hopefully to compete. Watching them, it's gonna be really exciting. Like I'm really proud of all of them, and I'm just can't wait to see how they do. So that'll be definitely something I'm looking forward to. National convention.
Yeah, I would probably say working with a new team. I mean, we have a pretty big team this year. How many people is it?
Oh, our officer team.
Yeah, our officer team.
8.
Yeah, we have a lot of people on the officer team. So I would say just learning their strengths, their weaknesses, just connecting with them is different. So every team is different. So the more you learn about them, most of us are already friends, so that part's already down. It's more of just working together as an actual team and just seeing how we do as a team. I'd like to this be our best year. So, I mean, as long as we can work together, I feel like we can do it. So.
Yep, definitely what you said, working with a new team. Our chapter, we have 11 officers this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So definitely working with them, kind of like you said, seeing like our strengths, our weaknesses, where we're all at. And I mean, we all know each other. We've been doing it forever. But kind of getting to see where we're all at next week because we have our cult next week. Seeing where everybody's at. Just looking forward to new competitions this year, I'd say.
Yeah.
I want to try new competitions this year, and looking forward to kind of seeing where our chapter goes. We have one of my friends, she's going to nationals with her proficiency, and I think it's called diversified livestock production. I think that's the
Sounds
category.
right, yeah.
She's all in bee production. Like bees is that's her thing. And
Mhm.
kind of funny thing, she's allergic to bees too.
Oh,
So,
gosh. That's not
and
good.
she
Oh my
works with them all the
gosh.
time. But it wasn't last year. 2 years ago, it was my ninth grade year. I was a junior rep, and she was on our officer team. She came to our banquet. And, like that morning at our banquet, she got stung right here,
Mm.
and like
Oh,
under her
no.
eye, like her eye was
Oh.
like swollen shut. And then she was like, "I'm gonna go to the banquet, but I just can't promise I won't look at people funny." But that's definitely looking forward to how she does. I think she's gonna do great. Um, she's like the nicest person you'd ever meet, but definitely looking forward to see how she does with all those interviews and with her proficiency.
Could I add one more thing?
Yeah.
I think another thing that needs to be mentioned is we have a couple seniors that have been competing on our E&R team past 4 years, 5 years,
Oh,
6
yeah.
years. They've been working their butts off, and it's really the time that we need to win for them.
Yeah, they've gotten second like every year,
Yeah.
like every single year.
This is the year that we got to do it for them. So they've never won a state competition, so it's really cool to see if they can do that. So
Mhm.
we're gonna really try to help them out.
Yeah.
This is the year that we're gonna.
That's also something I like that farm business. We came in like, I'm not sure if I really, we came in with like the highest score of all the areas, and then they did really good, and then we just like nothing bad. Like they did really good at state too, but they just got second. So I'm excited to see how we're gonna grow
Bounce
and
back, yeah.
learn and bounce back from that. So I'm just like I'm excited to see how E&R does and farmers is because it's the same week,
Mhm.
and E&R they've gotten second like every year. So I'm really hoping they can pull it through.
Yep, trying to
It's
bounce
so,
back from
so
that.
good. I hope farmers can too.
Yeah.
I think we can.
But yeah, definitely cheering on people in your chapter with competitions. I'd say
Yeah.
definitely a great moment. Kind of since we looked in the future, kind of go look in the past a little bit. If you could go back and give yourself advice, whether it was joining FFA or just general advice, if you could go back and give yourself advice, what would it be and why?
I would tell myself not to be afraid. Just like go for it and like don't be afraid to ask to do a certain competition or to run for something or to apply. Just do it because like you can be told no, but that doesn't really mean no. It just means not at this time maybe. So you always have opportunities and just go for them. Like don't waste your time. Just take them all.
Yeah. I would say probably it would have to be start earlier. Do everything that you wanted to do early. Don't worry about other people. Don't worry about anything else. Just do what you want to do. Make sure that you are doing what you want to do though. Don't worry about other people saying because like other people can be pretty mean and they can influence you. So as long as you're doing what you want to do and you're passionate about it, I would say just go for it. Like everything that you can do in the future is going to happen eventually. So I don't know if that made sense, but
Yeah.
like just go for it. Like kind of what Riley said, but like all the opportunities that you don't like take it's just going to haunt you for like until you do them. Like
It's a past opportunity.
yeah,
though.
past opportunities are never good when you don't do them. Like at least try something out. If you don't like it, you can always not do it again. But like in terms of competitions, trying out for that new officer position, or just even going to an event, like meeting new people. I love to meet new people, so like just meeting new people. Just go up to that person. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Just meet new people, have fun, and do what you want to do.
Yep, definitely agree with that. Getting into it early. I've been FFA since sixth grade, so I'd say now 7 years. I think that's right. And we have a ton of freshmen that come in and middle schoolers as well, and we always get them to try and join. And then they're like, "No, that's just not my thing. I'll take an ag class, but I won't do FFA."
Yeah.
And I mean, well, yeah, that's fine. At least they're taking an ag class. And then they get to their junior, senior year, and they get involved. And then
It's too late.
we have a senior this year, and he was telling us, "I wish I would have gotten involved earlier." And it was like, well, we were trying to tell you to get involved earlier. Kind of what he was saying. It's like I wouldn't say it's too late, but you don't get to experience everything that you want to in just like a 1 year span of time.
No.
Because by your senior year, it's just kind of like flowing. I'd say just
Yeah.
kind of, well, everything's coming to an end.
Yeah.
But definitely, like you said, getting involved early and just doing things, going for it.
Yeah.
Not being afraid to just go out there and do what you want to do. And kind of like you said, it can be people can be de-influencing about it, if that's a word. But
Negative.
yeah, people can be negative about it, I'd say. But you just got to know what you really want to do and what you're passionate for. I'd say that. But really great advice, I'd say. So kind of on the advice train, kind of ending off this episode today, if you could give advice to a student who's wanting to join FFA, what would that advice be?
To just do it. Cause like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Like, just do it. Like, there's nothing bad can really happen. I would say is, you'll have some of the most memorable memories. You can't like unforgettable things will happen. It's just like one of the most fun, like one of the funnest things you'll do in high school, and in middle school is just do it.
Yeah, I would say probably just getting yourself out there, even if you don't think that it's comfortable for you, or just doing something that you're not used to. It can be challenging. It can be not fun at times, but even trying it out is better than not trying it out.
Yeah.
If you're just sitting at home or you're not doing anything after school, like, why not? Why not just go ahead and hang out with some friends or meet new friends and just see what they're doing and see why they like this? Like, why do they like FFA? There's got to be some reason. So, and the thing about FFA, like we were talking about earlier, it's so diverse. Everybody has a place. The more you do, the more you figure out what you like. Like, I know Riley does not like being on the forestry type side of things anymore because he just had his experience ruined for him. He didn't like it. So he's moved on to better things, and he likes where he is now, and hopefully he's going to be doing more. So we're all learning more and more, like, what we're going to be doing, and eventually you probably are going to find something that you like. It's very uncommon for someone to not like anything in FFA. At least even just showing up to a meeting or an event. You can show up, be an FFA, support, be with your friends. You don't even have to compete in anything. You can just be there. Be a friend. I'd say that's probably my advice.
Yep. Definitely great advice. Just do it. Kind of like you said. Don't be afraid, like, what's the outcome. I mean, I've always said this, and I really didn't go by this to begin with. But my teachers always told me you got to fail to learn.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that quote because it's just kind of like, why would I want to fail the first time? But I'd say now, seeing it, I definitely live by it now. Just not getting, I'd find an easier way to explain it. Let's see, like, I'd rather get second place in a competition my first year than get first place my first year.
Yep.
To leave that room to grow, to know how to do better. I'd say. But kind of like you were saying earlier, no is not a no. No just means not right now. It means something better is coming for you in the future. But definitely great advice for people who are just now wanting to join FFA, or who are on that fence that maybe I want to join, maybe I don't want to join. But definitely great advice, I'd say.
Yeah, even if that's been said before, I mean, like, just saying that again and again, it helps. Like, some of these people just don't understand what FA is, and all those opportunities that they're they're missing out on is just a waste of time. Like, why are you not at least trying? Like, it's like trying a new food. You don't know if you like it until you try it, at least.
Yeah.
You can spit it up. You don't like it. You can try a different food, but you're never going to not, like, enjoy something until you try it. So.
Yep, definitely agree with that. Great analogy there. Trying food, if you don't like it, spit it out. But definitely great advice. I really thank y'all for coming out. I know you had a long drive to be here, probably an early morning too,
Yeah, it was
trying to
lovely.
get here. And I really do appreciate it a lot. But I thank y'all for making the long drive to be here, and being on today's episode, talking about y'all's FFA experience, the advice you give, and the things that you've learned throughout. But I really do thank y'all for coming out here.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
for having us.
But we hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and we hope that you follow us on all of our social media to stay up to date with the new episodes. And thank you for watching the recent episode of the Blue Jacket Banner.